Welcome back to another episode of Electro-Technology on the Job. And in this episode, we are doing the dreaded call out. Okay, so I've just been called out to go and do a job. And this is always the worst part of being an electrician, because you only ever get called out when it's raining and it's in the middle of winter. And that's generally because water gets in somewhere and shorts something out and you've got to go and repair it. So a call out, just for those who are a bit unsure, is basically it's a job that somebody calls you up and they need it done straight away. So it's not something you've scheduled in for the week that you might be working. So today is Saturday, it's in the middle of winter and it's raining. And I've had a call and the problem is somebody's circuit breaker has tripped and won't reset. So whenever you get any call out, the most important thing you can do is ask questions before you even leave, because sometimes you can even solve the problem over the phone. So the first question you ask is, all right, what circuit is it? Is it a power circuit? Is it lights? What is it? And in this case, it was a power circuit. So that's a little bit concerning, because if it was lights, then straight away you know that it's been raining. More than likely, water has gotten in, and the issue is that, there's a leak somewhere and you can basically just pull that light fitting out. That's my phone going because I've probably got a few more coming in now. Anyway, so yeah, you can pull the light fitting out and, just leave it, let the water drip out or something and move the cables and stuff out of the way. And then that water leak can get fixed later on during the week and you can come back and put that light fitting back on. So generally that's a quick and easy fix. But when it's a power circuit, that could be something different. So the first thing I will do is when I get there is I'm going to have a look inside the house and see what they have plugged in. If they've got lots of heaters plugged in, again, it's winter. If they have lots of heaters plugged in, then it's quite possible they're just drawing too much current through the circuit and it's tripping the circuit breaker. However, that being the case, they should still be able to reset their RCD and it should hold up, even if it's only holding up for 5-10 seconds before it kicks over again. The fact that they're saying it won't reset at all means that it most likely is a short circuit somewhere. Maybe water's gotten into a wall or something like that. Luckily enough, I actually know what this problem is. This particular customer, I've had to fix some circuit breakers for them before, and the RCDs that were installed, I keep saying circuit breaker, it's an RCD. The RCD that's been installed, there was a recall on them, because they were faulty, and after a little while they would just stop working. So I'm 100% sure that that's exactly what's happened with this one. So I literally have to turn up and hopefully just take the RCD off and put a brand new one on and it should fix it. But let's assume for a moment that it's not that problem and it's something else. If I had to find this problem, and I've had this happen to me before, if I had to find the problem, then on a power circuit, I would have to firstly take everything off the circuit, unplug everything. Then I would systematically go through, plug each device back in and see if it would trip. And maybe it turns out that it's just a dodgy kettle or something like that, or a dodgy fridge, and as soon as you plug it in, it trips out the circuit breaker. All right, so that's your problem. But if you have everything unplugged and it's still not resetting, then you've got two things. One, it could be a faulty circuit breaker, which is very, very rare. I do know that this one is that case, but again, it is very, very rare for that to happen. The other issue is something else has gone wrong. So you have to then take all the outlets off, so all the GPIOs off the wall. You have to disconnect all the cabling, and then you have to systematically work through the circuit. Now, the best way to do it is to split the circuit in half, find your middle point, and then check it all and see if it holds up. And if it holds up, excellent, you've only got half a circuit to go. But a lot of times you can't figure that out. So you basically have to take everything apart, figure out where the first GPIO is, and that's easy because you can put the circuit breaker on and then go around and test for your voltage, and as soon as you find voltage on a cable, that's your first point. That's your feed cable coming into the circuit. Generally, you can then pretty much take an educated guess to where the middle of the circuit might be, just because of experience of knowing how things get wired up. But over the years, if things have been added onto or changed, that may not be the case. So then you have to connect up the wire, turn the circuit breaker on again, check. Does that work through to the next GPIO? And you have to do that on each GPIO, go through each individual one. I had a job where we spent 2 days doing this, 2 days. And it turned out the problem was the building had a extension. They had installed an extension onto this house, and the plasterboard had been screwed up to the wall, but one screw had missed the timber and gone into the cable, but it must have just nicked the cable, and it was not enough to cut through the insulation and short across. 6 months later, as time goes on and things age and the timber expands and contracts with heat and time, what had happened, obviously there had been a slight movement, and that screw that had gone through that cable had then, with the movement, had then shorted across the two conductors, the active and neutral, causing it to trip out. So it took us 2 days to figure that out because we just couldn't find any problems until we finally realized that it was this extension and it was part of the circuit. And then when we did that test, disconnect everything, reconnect and try things, that's what we ended up getting. So it can be a really problematic issue when you get an RCD that won't reset and it's on a power circuit. So anyway, like I said, I know exactly what's wrong with this. Luckily, it is literally just a dodgy RCD. So we're going to go have a look at it and replace it as soon as possible because we don't want to get caught out in the rain. Let's go and have a look, see how well we do. Okay, so here we are. This is the main board to the house. And the issue we've got is this circuit breaker up here, or this RCD, which is tripped and won't reset. So you can see here that if I try to reset this, it's just not doing anything. It's jammed, it won't go that way, and it's not doing anything that way, which tells me straight away that this is definitely faulty, and that's what we're going to have to replace. So all we're going to do is we're going to take the cover off the module board here. We're going to isolate, obviously, with our main switch, take the cover off, pop that breaker out, and then we're going to swap it over for a brand new one. And then the job will be done. It shouldn't take too long. It should take about 5-10 minutes at the most. I really want to get this done as soon as possible because it is likely to rain again, and I do not want to get caught out in the rain while I'm working with live equipment. So let's get to it. Safety first, we've got a ring on, I'm going to take that off. That way I don't hurt myself. Always test to make sure it's definitely isolated, just in case it's not, but it should be. There you go. So I've taken this out simply just to make it a little bit easier for me to get to these wires because they're fairly short. There's not a lot of space in them. So that way I can actually get the right connections in. Otherwise it'd be really hard in that small little box. Okay, the new RCD is in. We're going to re-energize the circuit and we're going to see if it holds up. looking fine. Everything's working perfectly. We can now say the job is done. Excellent. Okay, the job has been finished, and that is it for this episode of Electrotechnology on the Job. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something from this video and that you've learned something. It is always an interesting activity doing on-call jobs. They're not the most fun jobs, but you know, it's just part and parcel of our trade. So again, I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.